I really gravitated to jazz because jazz is kind of a fusion of many different musical styles. Um, in its earliest stages, jazz was basically a combination of musical styles that have existed for hundreds of thousands of years even, and from different continents. And those styles kind of came together for the first time. And my music is a fusion of, many different styles as well. In fact, I actively try to incorporate more and more just musical techniques and genres into my sound.
So, here we are, going to the studio to record my music.
I am Alexander Sasha Kashperko, but I go by Sasha Kashperko. I'm a guitarist, composer, educator, and producer. I'm based in Detroit. I'm originally from the country Belarus, and I do music full-time. I play in a lot of different bands, I'm a part of a lot of different projects, have a lot of projects of my own. I teach locally, and I do a lot of session work. I started messing around with music when I was about 12 years old. That was in the form of a program, software called FL Studio. I started playing guitar when I was about 15, and I've stuck with that more so than anything else. I've been playing guitar for 12 years now. It is early. It is 8 a.m. We are on the way to record my album. I am getting together with some of my close friends, and we are going to record songs that I have written. Very grateful to them for doing this for me. They obviously care about me a lot. They must love me for doing all of this for me. I'm very super grateful to them for that. And I'm just really excited right now. I'm not really expecting anything really. I mean, I kind of know what to expect, but at the same time I'm trying not to expect anything. One of the things that I really love about playing with some of these guys is their unpredictability, so to speak. As improvisers, I think that we're kind of drawn to that sort of thing. And that's what I really like about playing with these guys. I didn't really put anything out for a while when I first started playing music. Nothing serious, at least. I was just kind of studying and playing in other people's bands. But the first thing that I officially released was an EP that I uploaded to SoundCloud. And it was exclusively on SoundCloud. And it was stuff that I had made at home using only my guitar, a looper pedal, and a laptop. And I had this program called Audacity, which is free software, very minimal. And this beat, it was kind of like a mixtape or a beat tape that I made, basically using only guitar as the primary, the sounds. And I was really surprised by how well that project did. And since then I've put out a few EPs, actually 4 more. But now I'm working on releasing a project that I've been thinking of for a very long time. And in fact, I've had this project on my mind and in my spirit since before I even released my first, EP and the 4 EPs after that. So this project has been in the works for a long time. And I really consider it to be my first album because those EPs were, a lot of them were very spontaneous, even sometimes the release of them, or the stuff, the making of them. Whereas this project is
Get some guitar.
stuff that I've always imagined being on my first album, so I've kind of been saving it. Some of these songs on this album are almost a decade old, since when I first wrote them. So I'm very excited to get this music out.
Yeah.
What percent are you at?
Hmm?
What percent are you at?
At my
Your phone.
on my phone, I'm like at 100%. Like I'm in
I
charge.
charge.
Yeah.
All right. This is. Let me switch headphones. With you.
Okay.
You take these. And go ahead and place the keys and see how you sound in there. So let me just grab this one from you.
I was just gonna, hey, yo, can you take me out of my headphones too, Ben?
For this album, I chose 4 musicians to help me create it. Firstly, my good friend Kayvon Gordon, who's a drummer. He's probably the most important asset to this project. Him and I have been working on these songs for a very long time. Some of them almost a decade. And he has really helped me to shape the whole kind of concept of this album, the vibe of it. We've had different people play with us every time that we perform these songs, but he's kind of been the person that has stuck around through the entirety of it. Next, I chose my bro Ian Fink on the keys. I chose him because he's probably one of the most skilled piano players in the world right now. And on top of being a very skilled piano player, he is also very skilled at playing the synth bass simultaneously
Yeah, but for
with keys with his left and right hands. So that's what he's actually doing on this entire project. I also chose him because he is a producer just like me, and we have actually produced a lot of stuff together in Video 7, and I really trust him to craft sounds and tweak his synth and his keyboard to get the right sound that's going to fit the vibe of the music. And I knew that I wouldn't have to tell him very much at all when I got him in the studio and showed him these songs. Pretty much as soon as I started playing my parts on the guitar, he knew exactly what I wanted on the keys, and he delivered it. Yes. Next, I chose my good friend Rob Nash on the keys. I chose to have 2 different keyboard players at the same time on this album. I thought that would be something different and interesting.
Yes.
And they are also 2 very different players, so I thought that would be an interesting dynamic as well. Rob Nash, even though he's a very good friend of mine, we haven't been playing as much together as these other guys, and that's primarily because Rob is less of a jazz musician and more of a kind of session guy. He does a lot of stuff in the studio, and that really sets him apart from the rest of the guys because we don't do as much. We do more so kind of performing live. So I really wanted to have a guy like that on the team. And I also really dig Rob's style of playing because he's more rooted in gospel and neo soul in his language and his way of communicating, as opposed to jazz like the rest of us in the guitar. And last but not least, I chose my friend Marcus Elliott to come lace some sax on one of the tracks. For this project, I decided to have it recorded in a way where everybody was in the same room and only the drums were actually mic'd. So everybody else was running direct lines. So because of that, now if I want to add any acoustic instruments like saxophone, I'm going to have to overdub it later. So that's going to be an interesting process. How do you guys feel?
Definitely was probably one of the better takes.
That might be the one.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
All right. If you want to go back later and do one,
Right. I mean, I think that's a good enough one where I can
Let's hear it.
fit that shit in.
It's a serious line. It's cool.
I have to get a quick mix going here for a second. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, man. Here, take a seat. Hot shot. You got the last one? Yeah, this is the last one.
Orbital.
Yeah.
The other side of your pedal, it shouldn't. You know what I mean? You have to like find a way to turn your knob down on your guitar itself, or check how the gain is going to each pedal. You know. So when you get back up there for the next song, you check again, and so I can get because it's gonna just my little ear. Your engineer, whoever's doing mixing or whatever, probably has tools to remove some of those clips. You know what I mean? So. But you'll be fine, like you got it.
The techniques used on this album are very vast. I am really into the idea of fusing different genres together. That's the thing that I love about jazz. And I am influenced by many different genres, almost all of them, I would say. Growing up specifically, I was really listening to a lot of hip hop and rock and pop music of various kinds, throwbacks and oldies, 70s funk, metal, punk, R&B, drum and bass, trip hop, techno, folk, indie, really, just about everything. And as I started studying jazz in college, I even became interested in different styles of music from around the world that are more obscure and less often utilized. So I really try to draw upon techniques from all different types of musicians, especially all the different string players and different styles of guitar. And I kind of just try to incorporate it all into my music in a way. Of course, as far as jazz and music theory, this album definitely contains some pretty complex harmony, and also pretty complex rhythm, I guess. One of the things that I really love utilizing is odd time signatures, which is fairly uncommon as far as popular music goes. Most popular music, I would say 99% of the time, is either in 4 or 3. So anything like 7 or 9 or 11 or 13 or 5 is uncommon to popular music. So I made sure to utilize a lot of that in my album. And I really like the sound of it simply because it is different. It really is only mostly utilized today in jazz, as far as the way that we're feeling it and playing it. Of course, odd time signatures do stem back to different, ancient, well, not ancient.
Just to let you guys know, a lot of these songs.
Odd time signatures do have origins in Eastern Europe and in India as well. And also, I'm really attracted to their ways of playing it and their techniques. So I wanted to incorporate that into my music as well. I'm going to play this first pickup notes by myself, kind of like. And then I'm going to do a big. And I want that downbeat to feel real like loose and sluggish. The whole beat in general I want to be like that. But as you can see, I put a little note on the 4th bar. We do this, me and Kayvon have been playing this song for like a few years now. And the way we do this shit, it varies. But basically I want that 4th bar to just kind of get real, almost like loose and sloppy and slow down and then pick back up right on the downbeat of the next bar. Or back, or when the beat comes back on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. Let's just see how this group treats it. It always feels a little bit differently, like depending on who else we have. Like the way we were doing it with Adam got really weird, but I like that shit. So yeah, let's try it. Oh yeah, for this one, I would like you to do a bass solo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, is that cool?
Sure.
Yes. So I'm going to do a solo. I'm going to play the head once, maybe twice. And then I'm going to take a solo. Then you're going to take a solo. Then we'll just do the head again. And then on the very last time, I'm going to cue these chords after we get to the... So we're going to get to the G major 7, hold it out. Then I'm going to cue the D flat major 7, do some noodles. Cue C major 7, more noodles. The end.
Okay.
Cool?
Cool.
All right. Let's give it a practice try.
Nice.
Really quick. So I'm gonna go. Here we go. Here's me by myself. Now here's the bridge. So, right
You know
now,
that? Can you hear me?
Probably
we are
one
here
practice run, and then we'll
at the studio,
hit it probably.
day 2 at the studio.
So you said one practice run and we.
Sorry, I'm gonna watch this way. I need to.
You
Yeah,
want upstairs?
sure.
You ask them together.
Okay. So we're gonna go downstairs. Yeah. Here we are, day 2 at the studio. We got a bunch of takes yesterday, and I think we need about 2 more takes today before we start going into opens. Hey, do you have a drum key by any chance?
I do. Well, it's in the there's like a stick bag next to the drum set that you can use.
Okay.
It's inside there.
Okay. So, yeah. Just brushing my hair and telling Kayvon where the drum key is. Hey, he said there's a drum bag. He said it's in one of these drum bags. Gotta make sure my mustache is well brushed. Make sure there's no stray hairs before this recording.
You got it.
Alright, I'm all set.
ready to record.
So
Are we not doing
we're
this
not
one
doing
over
that
in
for
solo?
now. So
Taking the form?
I thought that was fine, whatever was happening.
We didn't do it.
I wish we
well,
didn't stop.
we're trying to figure out
That was a good
whether
take.
we're gonna do
The
it or
main
not.
thing that has made it difficult is simply financing it. You know, you have to pay the studio, you have to pay the musicians, you have to pay to distribute it. And so it's definitely been a sacrifice that I've had to make to set the money aside for this. And I'm still paying it off, actually. So, but I think it's definitely a worthwhile sacrifice. Another thing is
Hold
that
on. Let's start over.
I've been trying to
So,
complete school.
yeah, play in that space, and also, yeah, exactly.
Paying on school
and
to try to
Andrew,
make my way to the end. I'm
does it
very
end?
close to
Can you show
finishing,
us?
and
It goes all the way up.
I was trying to get back into school actually this past fall, but that didn't end up happening, and so I decided, well, since I'm not getting into school this year, I might as well invest in this project and just get it going, because I've been thinking of this for so long. So it's definitely been a sacrifice, but I think a worthwhile sacrifice.
I am here in the studio
I need the whole.
on a Friday.
I need the ring.
We did some overdubs. We added some saxophone. We added some piano. More piano. There's already several layers of keyboard playing, and now there's more layers as of today.
Like, that's just a,
So the album is coming along. I think it's almost ready for mixing and mastering.
I love the taste of watermelon.
The end.
I love eat watermelon.
I think there's 8 altogether. Because I remember you taking 2 and then we took 2 together. But let's count it up.
That's a really good number, 8. Really even. So, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't play so quarterly when we play together, I guess. I feel like me playing chords is kind of too much when we're playing together. Maybe we should just both do single line or something.
Yeah, let's just both do something.
Yeah,
Well, I have no choice, but
yeah, right.
yeah, that's 8.
Right.
So let's do this. I do 3, you do 3, and then we just do the last 2 together.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Sweet.
That's cool.
I hope that this album really inspires people, that it's really exciting to listen to. When I listen to music, I often use it to motivate myself, and I really hope that this album can do that for people. And I hope that it can really just benefit them in any way. Music serves different roles and different functions for different people. So I hope that this album can benefit anybody and everybody in any way.
1, 2, 3.
I don't have a whole lot of really concrete plans lined up. I'm more so just hoping for anything and everything, honestly. I hope that this project does very well and that I can keep making more and more projects. I would love to take it out on the road and, perform it in different places. Just personally in my life, I definitely plan on being a musician forever, and I want to continue studying music. I think I'm going to definitely strive to get a degree in several degrees in music, and yeah, just continue creating and inspiring and inspiring others, staying inspired, and just living a life filled with music. And to be able to sustain myself, of course, on music.